How did you meet Nas?
Yeah,
I met Nas. It was like little hood shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Fatal, New Melquan. It was all hood rapping and staircase rapping and shit like that. But then it came about that we was going to do a demo. So then, you know, everything started taking form, and it was like, yo, well, who gonna rhyme? It was like, yo, Nas, we gonna do Nas. And so it was like, yo, well, who gonna do the beat? It's like, yo, we gonna get Professor. And so they all put it all together. We had this, it's funny because it was all around a studio session. That's crazy.
Wow.
And he like kind of patchworked it together and shit like, yo, all right, so we went all the way out to Coney Island and we did the demo. And I was like, yo, cause he was saying like kind of basic shit, but it was just out of the ordinary, like punchlines that was like,
oh,
okay,
that was crazy.
yeah, like,
oh, you snuff Jesus? That's
yeah,
crazy.
like, yeah.
Right.
Professor X, like, yeah. All right, so yeah, that was cool times, man. We was mad young, man. It was crazy because my man Roger had sent a flick to me and Fatal, and yo, I didn't realize how young they got the flick of me with the hat to the back with the fucking machine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With the machine and shit. That's all. Like I would carry that machine on. I had that machine on the train with me one time, 5 o'clock in the morning, going to see Biz with a crate of records. Now this shit was mammoth. It had a big ass like case, like big mammoth machine, man, on fire. Like, yeah, I was all like, so I brought that machine out to Coney Island, did the demo for Nas. We just kept clicking. I was like part-time working with G Rap and Eric B at the same time as that. And then they was like, yo, what you working on and shit? I'm like, yo, I got this kid Nas from QB. And they like, yo, all right, so whenever it's downtime and shit, just pop.
Right.
So I'll be like, yo. Just
in between all this, when are you working on your project?
Oh, nah, we was multitasking like a mug, bro.
Right, yo, don't leave that out.
This is for this, that's for that, that's for that.
Right.
Like, yo. And then, you know, and that was the whole thing, because once it came about that, like, all right, yo, your demos is cool and shit, but that's just what they gonna be. They gonna be demos. These are not records. Like, whatever the case that stopped those from coming out to the world.
Mm-hmm.
So now I am working
so
on
none
my
of those
project.
records came out?
Nah. He had one called 550 Fahrenheit. He had another one, Top Choice of the Female Persuasion. There's another one. Yo, and it was tough because it was like, it was innocent. It was innocent, like, but he was slick. He would say some slick shit, like, and then he would say like some older, like, where it's like, oh, he's wiser.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that type shit, like QB, Prodigy and shit, like, yo, but my mind is old type, you know what I mean? Like that type shit. They was all on that shit, so yeah, nah, none of that stuff came out though. And
you still got them?
I don't, man. I think Nas definitely got, I think he copped the tapes once everything started getting good with Sony and shit. He was just like, yo, let me just go grab them tapes.
Lost Tapes Part 2?
Man.
That'd be crazy.
Man.
That'd be crazy.
But I got like I told y'all, the Queens Lounge shit, I got like niggas just rhyming, like, because I used to just pass the mic around, trash, like we coming up with routines. I got Harvest Brown, like just bugging, like that's how we keep it. Like my man Pete Rock, I can't front, Pete Rock set it off for me because Pete Rock always kept the handheld mic, like when he's making beats and shit like that. Nigga just started rhyming, getting into a rhyme. I'm like, oh shit, this nigga like real get busy nigga, like yo. And so then I was like, yeah, I gotta keep the handheld mic. So, but I got these notables coming around, like so I'm like, yo, boom, boom, you. So I got a bunch of shit on cassette, like just maybe
you got Nas verses in the tuck?
I mean, like, you know, bug out shit like that.
How much?
Yo, there's a whole community out there, man. They'll press some shit up straight off a cassette. Like, yo, hell yeah, man. There's little communities, man, little sub-communities, man, that's like.
Yeah, they'll take that.
Funny, you got Nas, you working with Rakim and Kool G Rap.
Right.
Two of the guys
Legends.
credited for Nas's
in his own project.
style in a way. A lot of people said it Nas is the direct son of Rakim, but then when you hear him next to G Rap, they sound like brothers.
Right.
Like, they sound like they came up with that style
Absolutely,
together.
bro. G showed him love too. G showed Nas love. Like G was really like Rakim. Pardon me. Rakim had a lot going on, you know, because he was already like, you know, G was like in there like, yo, who your man? Like, yo, that nigga look like the devil on the red hot sauce bottle. Like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like G is snapping, like just wilding on niggas, like just bug shit, like. And he would embrace, you know, like if you have to go through the gauntlet and shit, and then you be all right and shit, like. But he embraced, like, so Nas was the same way. And off rip, like Nas didn't have to go through that with G though, because it wasn't like no games and shit. It was like, yo, nah, that nigga's nice.
Right.
Word from the start. Shit, like, nah, Nas nice and shit. And they start recording demos and all that. Yeah.
Did you sit in for that session? It ain't hard to tell.
Of course, that's me right
that's
there,
it.
man.
Because
Yeah.
a lot of producers there send the beats, and then you know,
Yeah,
what I mean?
Not in that era.
Yeah,
not in that era.
That era was that shit was trash. That era was trash. Where they like nigga was too important to like sit there with the artists and like
they
just
doing
give them
track
that, like,
outs.
yeah,
everything.
hell yeah.
Like,
We was tracking out. Niggas was going back down to get some more Phillies. Like this nigga, the bag was over there. Like that shit was gonna be an all-night affair. We was in there like partying and shit, listening to that shit a million times when it was done. Yeah, we was wilding.
How did you feel when that touched the world? That record touched the world. How did you feel?
Yo, it was crazy because it just like automatically like, like it was just on, and it was just like now we listening to the radio, like wow, like yo, but we just felt like nah, this is that thing. This is that thing. We didn't feel like oh they're gonna like it. Like we was like nah, this that thing. It's that thing.
You came from the era where it was like one producer, one MC. And you have Nas, this like undiscovered gem by a lot of people. But yet the album was produced by multiple super producers, like the first super producer album.
Yeah.
Like you were the first one to. What kept it from being Large Professor and Nas for the whole album? Whose idea was it to implement other producers?
Both of ours, man. It was both of our ideas, but like Nas had, you know, he had his own vision of what he wanted to do. So he's like, yo, I'm gonna get this, that. So he started asking, like, yo, you think DJ Premier? I'm like, hell yeah, like, you know, and then he had his own relationship with Premier, and then they took that from there. Yo, you think Q-Tip? Like, yo, hell yeah, let's go over there to Linden and see what's good and shit. Like, you know, fight grandmother basement and shit. Like, you down there chilling and shit. Like, and Q-Tip played shit, like, shit crazy. Like, yo, it's gonna be crazy. Like, you know, so he had ideas, like, even, you know, outside of me. You know what I'm saying? You know he had ideas because he got his pops to play on the, you know what I mean? So he had visions of like, yo, when I get it, I'm gonna do it like this and I'm gonna do that, that type of shit. So, you know, and then I was already doing a lot. You know, I was like a phenomenon in the industry at that time. You know, when you got that window, when you still that new dude,
right?
And you got that window, it's like, yo, all right, keep that hot, like, cause it's that window gonna close, bro, and they gonna have that next hot dude. So I was just going in, so it was good because Nas, he got to spearhead like a new style album, you know, with many different producers. I stayed on my grind, kept that fuel in the fire. So, you know, when the names was coming out, they were still credible. Still, you could say it proud, you know, loud and proud. That type shit. Like, you know, just like, you know, then he took that and just said, yo, go ahead and get this bread. Like, you know, different circumstances. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.